I know you have very little concerns about getting hit, but was it nice to get that out of the way today?
Yeah, it was nice. At least get one before the season starts, you know. But yeah, I mean, most important thing for me, like in spring training, is just making it through healthy and making sure you got enough reps to where you feel like you're good once the season starts. And I felt, you know, pretty solid at the plate, and I've made some good contact that just hasn't really fallen or, you know, got caught around the track area. But it was nice to get that one now.
Yeah, watching you all spring, you've been hitting the ball hard, a lot to the opposite way. You have to feel good just about where your swing's at.
Yeah, I feel good. Like I said, in spring training, I don't necessarily care as much about the results, more about just staying healthy and making sure that, you know, when I'm ready whenever the season does start.
How has the support system been for you here the first time away from Houston in your career?
I mean, it's obviously a little different just being with a new team, new teammates, and different organization. But I mean, everyone in here's, you know, made it, you know, pretty easy transition, just feeling comfortable in the clubhouse and out on the field and everything. So I think it's gone really well so far.
What did you think of the silent treatment when you got to the dugout?
I wasn't sure if that was going to happen or not, and then obviously it did. And then PCA everyone was mad at PCA because he dabbed me up and stuff, so they were yelling at him. But it was funny. It was a good time.
It seemed like in that previous at bat, right before the homer, I mean, you seemed like just missed it, almost the same spot. Like, can you tell on those close balls, like, that you're right there? How like, is that something that you read into? I know you said you don't really look a whole lot at results at this time of year, but I'm just curious what your instant analysis is after at bats like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if I hit a few balls like that, and if they get down, great. If they don't, like, did what I could on them. But I mean, I've just missed a few balls that, you know, I hit well, but they just didn't quite catch the barrel, or like didn't carry, or just didn't fall. So I don't think too much into stuff like that. I just, you know, I did what I could out there and made a good at bat, and, you know, pieced up the ball pretty decently, and, you know, it's roughly all I can do and control.
What sort of environment or atmosphere are you expecting in Japan, just opening day, star-studded Dodgers team, your first game in a Cubs uniform? What did you sort of expect? I
mean, obviously I haven't ever been over to Japan, so I don't exactly know how it's going to go, but I'm expecting to, you know, have a good crowd and good fans out there, and expect a good game. I mean, obviously we're playing against the reigning World Series champs, so I mean, they're going to go out there and try and win games just like we are, so we just got to show up and play good ball.
Where are your legs at right now? Spring training, you know, getting used to cleats, getting your legs strong. Do you feel season ready with your legs right now?
Yeah, I feel fine right now. I mean, we do plenty of, you know, outfield work and base running and stuff like that just to get conditioned for, you know, whenever the season does start, just so you can get used to playing every single day and be good to go. And we do a good amount of stuff in the weight room as well with them, so I feel fine.
What about these crowds out here and, you know, the amazing support they have? Does it more feel like a regular season like yesterday and today than, you know, spring training?
Yeah, I mean, I think yesterday, we had a record-setting, you know, attendance in baseball, so it was pretty cool to see. And, you know, I've heard that, you know, we have the best fans that show up to pretty much every game, whether, you know, the team's winning or losing, or whether it's spring training or the regular season or what. So it's pretty cool to just see and be part of, and just be out there playing with all the fans like that.
All right, coming up, 30 clubs in 15 days. Mesa, Arizona, home of the Chicago Cubs. One-time home of Mark DeRosa. You talked to Kyle Tucker, a guy you managed. Going to have a big season with the Cubs.
He has to have a big season for this team. I mean, that's why he was brought over. I don't want him to feel the pressure that he has to carry the offense. There's a lot to go around. But the fans on the north side of Chicago are going to fall in love with this guy.
Also, Showtime with Shota Imanaga and Pete Crow Armstrong. Trying out a new hairstyle? You'll find out. Welcome to 30 Clubs in 15 Days, presented by T-Mobile. Finds us in Mesa, Arizona, the home of the Chicago Cubs, where all the fans were out. Sellout crowd, over 16,000 here on a Saturday, just to go check out their beloved Cubbies. And alongside Mark DeRosa, I'm Adnan Burke. Speaking of beloved Cubbies, as a former Cubs legend,
This is awesome.
I mean, you were welcomed in the clubhouse like you were still playing.
Thank you, Cubbies. Red carpet treatment. You didn't forget about 07 and 08. I thought you might have. I always say the day I got traded, one of the worst days of my life.
Oh,
out of this
seriously.
organization.
You love the vibe as far as Cubs fans are concerned. Listen, Dero, there's big expectations for this team. They have not made the playoffs since 2020. Last couple of years, 83 and 79. It feels like they got to win the division this year.
And you feel it. I mean, Jed Hoyer went out. He solidified the bullpen. He went out and made a major trade for Kyle Tucker. Obviously, letting Cody Bellinger go. But there is expectation that this team's got to make a deep playoff run.
And part of the strength of this team is their starting staff, particularly that 1-2 punch. Rare to see a couple of lefties bolstering rotation. Shota Imanaga, who throws 92 when the average fastball is 94, but he's got great rise on it, great spin rate. And Justin Steele, who I know you think is one of the more underrated pitchers.
Yeah, he doesn't get... Nobody barrels Justin Steele up. Going back to Shota Imanaga, it's about falling in love with him. His first start in Wrigley Field last year, I mean, he's walking off the mound.
Are you not entertained?
Right? How could you not love it? And then on the flip side, Jamison Tyon gives them a little right-handed mix-up, and then Matthew Boyd is coming off a great postseason start.
Kyle Tucker, a guy you managed with Team USA, again, locked expectations. His 162-game average, he's 32 home runs, he's 107 RBI. He's bringing a lot of pop in the middle of the
He's one of the most talented ball players. He is the true epitome of a five-tool talent. I just don't feel like he has to feel like he has to carry this team. A lot of guys have to step up. The Dansby Swansons, Michael Busch has got to build off a great first year. There's a lot to go around here.
Yeah, Tucker's first year in Chicago and clearly going into his walk year, so he wants to have a strong season. And you asked him about making that transition to Chicago.
I mean, it's a little different. Obviously, I spent my whole career up to this point with the Astros, but I mean, like I said, pretty much right when I got traded over here, I don't think I could have gone to a much better organization than the Cubs. I mean, the fan base here is, second to none, and the teammates and front office, coaching staff, everyone that I've talked to and met so far have been, amazing. It's kind of been like pretty easy transition just to feel comfortable and everything out here. So I'm excited to finish up spring training, finish it healthy, get to Japan, then start the season. Get to Chicago and start playing.
What's your preparation like? What do you use in spring training for?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is just making sure you get through it healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, spring training, you just try and come out, get used to playing baseball every single day, putting the cleats on every day, getting at bats, throwing, and making sure your body's essentially up to speed and healthy enough for when the season starts, you can just go after it.
From an Astro standpoint, God, you were in a lineup littered with stars. You come over here, obviously there's stars in this lineup as well, but there's been such a mad rush to talk about you. Do you think to yourself, or you try and downplay the fact that there's so much expectation on you coming over here?
I mean, I get it, but I don't necessarily take it that way. I'm not the only one that goes out in the field and plays. I don't go on the mound. I'm not fielding every position. I don't hit every time. It's more of a team sport. I just do my part to try and help out everyone in the clubhouse and do my best out in the field, whether it's in the field, on the bases, in the box, whatever I can, just to help our team score some runs, prevent runs, and try and win games.
It's funny. During Team USA, I don't think people realize this. This man started the group chat. He's sneaky funny with the gifts and everything. Have you done that yet? Have your teammates gotten to know your sense of humor?
A little bit, not as much. I don't know exactly like who all's in the group chat or anything, or whether it's like everyone or just position players, like the coaching staff or anyone yet. But I'll definitely start seeking them out, especially once the season starts.
All right, I got to ask the Twitter question right here. Robert asked, you guys are getting ready to go to Japan in 2 days. What's the first meal choice for you the first night in Tokyo?
So my favorite food is sushi.
Really?
So I'm really excited to try some of the stuff
Come
over
on,
there.
you can't just say sushi. Give me something.
I mean,
Yellowtail, you Toro, what are you going?
My favorite's probably eel.
Ooh,
but I'll try some yellowtail, tuna, salmon, whatever. Try them out.
So you're excited to go to Japan?
Yeah, I'm pumped up. Try that, some Wagyu.
Is Wagyu a scam? I mean, you're paying double for a bone-in fillet, basically.
I know, right?
No?
It's good, though.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Melt in your mouth?
It does.
All right.
When's the last time you saw a tailgate party for a spring training game? A sellout crowd of 16,000 on hand. Plenty of good eats here in Chicago for the Bears. No, it's the Cubs. 30 clubs in 15 days presented by T-Mobile here in Mesa, Arizona. Joined now by one of the stars of this team, Shota Imanaga. Shota, how do you think year 2 will differ from year 1?
2年目は1年目とどう違うと思いますか？ まあ、キャンプの流れも分かってるので。
Yeah, I understand the flow of spring training this year, so I think the transition into the season should be smooth.
One of the great things about you is that the average fastball velocity is 94 miles an hour. Your fastball is 92. Why is your fastball able to be so effective?
I think the fact that my fastball velocity is under the average means there's separation from the norm. I think that's why it's unique.
Yeah, I think part of it too is you're able to make your fastball rise. How are you able to do that? Get that fastball on the top of the zone.
I think on screen it might look like the fastball's rising, but when you look at the numbers, it's not that unique. So I think it's more of the pitching form that has to do with it.
You have a great sense of humor, which you've been able to show. Where did Mike Imanaga II come from?
It started in the clubhouse where I was using the name, and then it got to the public.
You dressed up as one of the characters from Toy Story. Why did you do that?
So I knew that the rookies at the end of the year for the last road trip, they'll wear costumes. So I was wondering when it was going to be, and then I realized that was what we were doing.
Thanks so much, Shota. Dira, back over to you.
いよいよ始まるメジャーリーグの熱狂的なシーズン開幕。その中心に日本からやってきた若きスター、そして誰もが認める史上最高の逸材たちが君臨する。その名も佐々木朗希と今永昇太。しかしながら彼らが挑戦するその舞台の遥か先には誰も到達しえなかった伝説の領域を今なお爆走する真の神がいる。それこそが我々日本が世界に誇るべき大谷翔平である。まずはシカゴカブスが獲得した新エースラッガーカイル・タッカーの話から始めよう。この男はかつてヒューストンの名門球団を支えた屈指の強打者。今回初めて別のチームへの移籍を経験したタッカーはシカゴの熱狂的ファンの声援に包まれながら新天地での初ホームランを放ち、開幕前の調整を順調に進めている。とにかく健康が一番と語りながらも打球の感触は極めて良好。春季キャンプでは結果に一喜一憂することなく自らの調整に専念する姿はまさにプロ中のプロといえる姿勢だ。タッカーはこのオフシカゴカブスの最大の目玉補強選手として迎えられた。かつての名選手であり今は人気解説者として知られるマーク・デローサ氏もタッカーはシカゴカブスの救世主になる可能性を秘めている。しかし彼一人にチームの重圧を背負わせてはならない。ダンズビースワンソンやマイケル・ブッシュなど他の選手たちとの連携が勝利への鍵を握ると熱弁を振るう。さらに話題は今永翔太へと移る。昨シーズンからメジャーリーグに挑戦し独特のフォームと抜群のコントロールでバッターを翻弄し続ける男。彼の投げるストレートは速度自体は平均以下の148キロ前後だがまるでボールが上に向かって浮き上がるような軌道を描き相手打者を次々と手玉に取っていくのだ。カブス投手陣の貴重な戦力として今季はさらに大きな飛躍が期待されている。しかしこのように注目選手が数多く登場する中野球界の全てを凌駕する存在がいることを決して忘れてはならない。そう今も世界中の野球ファンを虜にし伝説を更新し続ける男大谷翔平である。大谷はメジャーリーグ史上最も非現実的な選手と称される二刀流の革命児だ。打席に立てば強烈無比なホームランで相手投手の心を砕きマウンドに立てば160キロ超えの速球と落差鋭いスプリットで次々と相手打者を沈黙させていく。その神がかり的な活躍に世界中の専門家や伝説的な OB までもが唖然としこれほどの選手はもう二度と現れないと口々に叫んでいるのだ。そして今季新たな日本の至宝と呼ばれる佐々木朗希がロサンゼルスドジャースに加入した。佐々木は MLB の若手有望株ランキングで堂々の世界1位に輝きその才能は専門家をして大谷翔平以来最も偉大な投手になる可能性を秘めていると言わしめている。実際佐々木が誇る160キロを超えるストレートと世界最高レベルのスプリットはメジャーの打者にとってはもはや悪夢でしかない。彼が真価を発揮すればサイ・ヤング賞の複数回受賞すら現実味を帯びるほどの規格外の才能を持っているのだ。だがそんな佐々木ですらまだ未完成の天才に過ぎない。ストレートのコントロールに若干のムラがありスタミナ面も改善の余地があるとされている。それゆえに佐々木朗希が今後どれほどまでに成長するのかその未来への期待が止まらないのである。ドジャースの緻密な育成力が彼の才能を最大限に引き出したその時真のモンスターが覚醒することは間違いないだろう。一方で大谷翔平はそんな若き才能をはるかにしのぐ次元ですでに歴史にその名を刻んでいる。野球の常識を塗り替え続け伝説を現実のものとしてしまった大谷の偉業は もはや数字では計り知れない二刀流としてシーズン50本塁打200奪三振という人類が夢見ることすらできなかった奇跡を彼は現実のものとして見せつけた。専門家や名選手たちがもはや人間の領域を超えているとまで絶賛を惜しまないその姿はまさに神にたならない。そして佐々木朗希や今永昇太のような次世代のスターたちがメジャーの舞台で躍動する姿を見るにつけ、大谷翔平が切り開いた道の偉大さが改めて浮き彫りとなるのだ。世界中からスターが集うメジャーリーグにおいて日本人選手がこれほどまでの存在感を放つようになったその最大の理由こそ、大谷が築き上げた揺るぎない実績と伝説の上にあるのだから。今こそ我々はこの生ける伝説大谷翔平が新たに作り出す奇跡に目を凝らし、耳を澄ませ胸を熱くして見守らねばならない。野球という競技の枠組みを超え、人間の限界すら超越し、今なお進化を続けるその勇姿は、間違いなく我々が生涯で見ることのできる最高で最強のスポーツの奇跡である。メジャーリーグの開幕は目前だ。新たな歴史の目撃者となる準備は整っただろうか。大谷翔平の伝説の旅路はこれからもさらに続いていく。決して目を離すな。その一瞬一瞬がまさに伝説なのだから。